y'all. We are about to review 1,000 Pound Roomies episode, season 1, episode 2, Fries Before Guys. Fries Before the Guys, okay? So let's get into it. This episode had a lot going on. So I'm going to try to cover everything as possible. So it started back off where we left off on episode 1, where Jasmine and Nisha was at Jasmine doctor's appointment, and Jasmine was getting weighed in. Remember, we didn't find out how much she weighed. Now we know how much she weighed. She was shocked, just like anybody would be shocked. Anyone, even though you get as big as you do, you don't realize how big you are until you step on that scale. So Jasmine and the doctor go back into the room where Nisha was waiting, and Nisha asked her, well, what was it? And Jazz is like 630. So now we know that Jasmine starting weight to her new journey is 630. When Nisha found out, she responded with a wow. And I think that kind of hit Nisha too, because it was like, whoa, like you never realize how big you are. And so to find out that her friend was 630, I'm sure that made her be like, dang, well, how big am I? Like what's going on? And speaking of that, we're going to get into it. So the doctor then tells Jazz must lose 150 pounds before she have the weight loss surgery. And which confused Jazz, because Jazz is like, well, that's what I'm here for, is to get help for the weight loss journey. Not understanding why the doctor is asking her to lose 150 pounds. I know sometimes doctors do ask. I know one of the reasons why they ask is to prep you for it, because the surgery is not to make you lose weight. There's plenty of people that get the surgery and don't lose the weight. Okay? The surgery is a tool. So they will ask you to lose a certain amount of weight before you get it. That way you can learn how to, not so much diet, but you can learn your portions. So that's why Jasmine was kind of confused about that. They didn't go into details on the show about it, but I'm sure the doctor did explain it to her. So Jazz did ask, well, how much will Nisha have to lose? And Nisha was like, wait a minute, this is not my appointment. This is yours. So the doctor asked Nisha, they start asking about, like, how much do Nisha weigh? And Nisha said that she did weigh herself not too long ago, and she weighed about 425 pounds. And Nisha agreed to go on a diet with Jazz. She's against the surgery and all that type of stuff. And everything, but she did agree to do the diet with Jazz. And Jazz kind of gave her this look, like, whatever, and we're going to get into that, okay? And so the doctor tells Jazz again, if she don't have the surgery, she will not live too much longer. Jazz spoke about it, really hit her, because she's like, how much longer do I have in life to be a mom, a sister, a friend, and so on? So it really, really hit her. And now she knows that she has to do this, especially for her daughter, Nana. So the next scene, Nisha is making a big breakfast. And the reason why she's making this big breakfast is, even though Jazz has to lose 150 pounds, and this is why I'm like, I'm sure her and the doctor have more conversations they didn't show on camera is because Jasmine explains that she is getting some help with losing the weight. The doctor did prescribe her shots, weight loss shots, to take to help her get to her 150 goal. But when she take these shots, it's per week. And on the 6th day, which is very common, very, very common for what I know of, that hunger, cravings and everything, it doesn't come back like a flush, but you crave, that craving comes back. Like it comes back. Not so much that you're gonna eat everything and you're just gonna go to town, but the craving do come back. So her and Nisha decide to, plan this big breakfast, and Nisha was cooking eggs, grits, potatoes. It looked delicious. It really, really did. And it was good. It was a good time to see, as Peach was saying, to see the girls like dance and stuff. They was dancing and everything. And so Jasmine went and sat on the couch. And she did this thing that us big people like to do, which is demonstrate the big people movements, or the way us big people do things. So she was like rolling on the couch and then basically showing how some big people get off the couch. How they have to roll over on their stomach, hit the floor with their hands, and then get up. And the reason why she was getting up was because Jasmine it was time to weigh themselves. And Jasmine was like, come on, Nisha, let's weigh ourselves in. This gave us the first red flag on the show for Nisha as far as her weight loss go. Not her personality, just her weight loss. Nisha was like, I don't feel like weighing in, especially after I eat. Nisha, you still cooking. You could have weighed yourself in. But Nisha refused. Jasmine went ahead and weighed herself in. And Jasmine has been on the weight loss shots, I believe she said about a month now. And she has lost a whopping 40 pounds. And it didn't mean that much to Jazz because she's like, I have to lose an additional 110 pounds. But that is a big deal, Jasmine. That is a big deal. And I'm so happy Nisha was there to say, I wish I could have lost 40 pounds. And Nisha, you could have lost 40 pounds. Okay, you could have got the shots with Jasmine and lost the 40 pounds. But Nisha's not down with that. So, yeah. And so anyway, they begin to eat. And they begin to eat. No, right before they ate breakfast, Jasmine told Nisha that her grandmother invited them over for Sunday dinner. And Nisha's like, oh, Lord. Like, is this going to be church? Is this going to be church? If y'all don't know, Nisha was brought up in a cult. So anything that has to deal with, like, church, not so much God, but just church and religion and all the, the traditional stuff, it does something. Hello, official gamer. I'm good. It does something to Nisha. Okay, she grew up in a cult from when she was born all the way till she was 22. Okay, so she been through a lot. She hasn't really she went into little details, like the preacher wouldn't let them eat, and sometimes they would go from early in the morning to like in the evening. Hey y'all, hey, to weigh in the evening like 3 or 4 o'clock without eating. So that was one of the things that the preacher would do. He was very manipulative, and so when Nisha would get a chance to eat, she ate. Okay, she ate. And so anyway, they begin to eat breakfast, and like many people that's on these shots, that 6th or 7th day before you take your shot, the craving come back. You think you can eat this big plate, and you can't. So Jasmine was, she didn't eat that much. And Nisha was like, now, I know I didn't just make this big old plate for you. I cooked all this food, this army-sized food, and you didn't eat it. And Jasmine was like, this called me an army. It was just funny. And she was like, I told you don't take the shot. Like, why did you take the shot? But that's how it is. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. And so we get to see, we get to see. Well, before we go on, Jasmine is like trying to encourage Nisha to go to the Sunday dinner with her because she's going to tell her family about the weight loss. And she knows when she tells her family about the weight loss surgery that they're all going to go against it. She needs Nisha's support. And Nisha is kind of doubting going because Nisha said, like, in many Sunday dinners in the black community, it always goes to church, which is not necessarily true. Which is not necessarily true. I have been to plenty of black Sunday dinners where it's dominoes, spades.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
Alexa, dominoes, spades. Thank you. Dominoes, spades. Frankie Beverly and the Maze playing and all that good stuff, okay? Just all that good stuff. But there is some Sunday dinners where it kind of, leads to that. But most of the Sunday dinners I went to, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was just laid back and chill. Kind of felt like a 4th of July with soul food, okay? With soul food. Or Juneteenth. Okay, Juneteenth. We really call 4th of July the after party of Juneteenth. Okay, but anyway. So, we see Nisha in her environment at work. She works with her mom. Her mom has a in-home daycare. And we get to see her interact with the children, which was fun to see. And so Nisha's mom calls her in the house. Nisha goes in the house and she tells her mom about how Jasmine's grandmother invited them to Sunday dinner. And Jasmine wants her to go because she's going to tell them about the weight loss. And so her mom is like, you need to go. Like, you need to go. And Nisha's like, I don't want to go because I don't want things to get churchy. And her mom is basically telling her, like, look, babe, I know we were all in the cult, me, you, your daddy, your sibling, or, we were in this cult. But you're going to have to get it together and get over it. And Nisha's like, it's not that easy. And the mom was like, it was easy for me. It was easy for me. And some people just don't know how to let go of things, especially when they've been through something like that. I know people that has been in churches like that. I know people that's still in churches like that. So it sometimes it's just, is this better? Sometimes it's just not easy to just get over. So she would definitely need like some counseling. Definitely need some counseling. So the next scene I want to talk about here is Nisha decides that her and Jasmine will go exercise, okay? They went to, I forgot what they call it when you exercise in a pool. When I say these girls be having on the best swimsuits, Nisha, I follow you on YouTube. If you watching me, hook me up with the site. These ladies be having on the most cutest swimsuits. They dress so nice. I love them. Like, they are my besties in my head, okay? They really, really are. When I'm over this and I come out to Cali, we need to hook it up, okay? Go hang out, okay? Go shopping, okay? Because I would really love to meet them. So anyway, they pulling up to the place, and Nisha's looking for a parking space. And Jasmine like, I know you're not about to park way back here. I need you to pull up to the front, pull up to the bumper, okay? And let me out. So Nisha lets her out right at the front, and they walk in. And as they walking in, Jasmine is, explaining how her knees, over time, her knees started to bother her more. So she used her wheelchair. And even though she used her wheelchair, I'm still proud of Jazz because she can easily sit in that wheelchair and move her feet or move the roller, have Nisha to push her. She's still walking. So I'm still proud of the fact that Jasmine is at least still walking, even though she is using the wheelchair. She is still walking. So they get inside the place, And Jazz freaks out. They get inside the place and Jazz freaks out. Jazz want to go back home. The swim instructor come and greet them and is trying to encourage her. Nisha is trying to encourage her. The swim instructor go ahead and jump in the pool. Nisha go ahead and walk down the stairs to get to the pool. At this time, Jazz at least got her feet in the pool. She's like, how am I get in this pool? If I try to go down the stairs and I fall, I'm going to hurt my knee or break my knee. Then I'm going to be bedridden, okay? So this brave, strong, black, beautiful woman does the most bravest boss thing I have ever seen anyone do in her size, okay? She laid down on her side and flipped into the pool. And yeah, it was like a well, Jasmine, but you did it. You did it. And they had a fun time. A good time. Like Peach would say, back and tired, you know, exercising in the pool. And everything was all good. Everything was all good. So kudos to them. The next thing we're going to talk about, okay? I told you this episode had a lot. Was Nisha and her situationship. So Nisha decided that her and Jazz should go get their hair done for Sunday dinner with Jazz family. And they needed a ride. Which I'm confused because the first episode, they had, I believe, like an SUV or a van or something. And then on this episode, they had, I believe that was Nisha's car. And Jazz had to sit in the back. She was complaining how small it was. Now, I don't know if it's because Nisha works with her mom in the daycare. So maybe those are the daycare vehicles, you know. Business, but can use it in leisure time. I'm not sure. But anyway, so they needed a ride to the beauty salon. And the person they got the ride from was from Nisha's situationship. So we get to see this young man. He's not a bad looking person, but he can be cleaned up, okay? He can be cleaned up. And so we find out that they've been in this situationship for 20 years. 20 years. Now, I've been in a situationship before. That was about 8 years on and off. And they've been in this situationship for 20 years. 20 long years. And he explains that he really likes Nisha. It's just that when he's available, she's not available. She's either dating somebody or with somebody. Then when she's available, he's not available. He's either dating or with somebody. But they always have fun together, if you get what I'm saying. Okay? And Nisha claims that they are happy. And she loves him enough to love somebody else. Nisha, I want you to love yourself as much as we love you. Okay? Okay, and if that man has not put you on the throne that you deserve to be on, read between the lines. Read between the lines. So, on the way there, he really irked my nerves because he's like, okay, I'm taking y'all to the beauty salon. What I'm going to get for this? So Nisha is sitting in the front, Jazz in the back, and Nisha's like, Jazz, he talking to you. Jazz like, nah, he talking to you. And so he's like, what I'm going to get? What I'm going to get? Okay? Like, and Jazz made a comment about a coochie sandwich. So that's basically what he was hitting around to Tanisha, like, hey, once you done, okay, just men like that just irks me out. And I wish Nisha would stop allowing herself to be treated that way. Nisha got a lot of counseling and a lot of self-growth and stuff that she needs to do, just like everybody else. But we're talking about it, Nisha, if you're watching this, because it's put out there on TV, and it's just my opinion. Not trying to hurt your feelings, but it's just my opinion. But I really do wish you would stop allowing this man to just come around when he want to, or only come around or always want to be rewarded with when he do something for you, okay? Because you deserve a man that's gonna cherish you and treat you like a queen and don't mind doing things for you because he love you, and vice versa for you, for him as well. So anyway, they get into the beauty salon, and Jazz is like, did you tell the beautician that you know how big I am? Because you know they usually don't have seats in here for women my size. And Nisha's like, yeah, you know, she know I'm big. Coming to find out, the beautician actually been knowing Nisha ever since she was little, ever since she was young, because she went to the church too and got out. So she understands where Nisha is coming from, which is so perfect, because she can definitely help Nisha transition in this world when it comes to her relationship with God and how to deal with church and religion and all that type of traditional stuff. But anyway, but a counselor also will help as well. So Jazz, the beautician is telling Jazz, which is the same beautician that has been doing Nisha hair and been knowing Nisha and went to the same church with Nisha since she was young, to come on over to the chair. Jazz get up and walk, and she's scared. And y'all, she fits in the chair. I was so happy for Jazz because I know that feeling. I know how that feel. And she fit in the chair. She felt happy. They got their hair done. They, the beautician talked about how she's been knowing Nisha since the church and how she got out as well. And it was just a nice girly time, a good time. It was just a nice girly time. Jasmine looked beautiful with her hairstyle, and so did Nisha. So the beautician tell Jasmine to get that. You know, she encouraged Jasmine, which I loved. I mean, Jazz. I'm sorry. I don't know if her name is Jasmine, but Jazz. And so then it gets to the family dinner. Okay? They pull up in a Uber. It's the van. It's Jazz, Nana, Jazz's beautiful daughter, Nana, and Nisha. The moment they pull up, you hear Jazz say, let's go. Nisha like, we're about to go in here and eat this food. So they get out the van, and Jazz saying, we now find out why Jasmine, when she pulled up, she was like, no, let's go. Her family have not seen her this size before, and she's afraid of what they're going to say. Plus, she's about to tell them about the weight loss surgery. So they go in. Nisha go in first. Jazz come in. And, you know, Nana's in. Jazz, I noticed, goes straight to the couch and sit down. Most likely it's because of her knees helping her. But I also see how her family is kind of looking like, wow, like what's going on? And a lot of people that I looked at their reviews and read a lot of people blogs about it, was they felt that her family, Jazz's family, was very defensive. It's not that they're very defensive. They love hard. You can tell that they are a love hard, overprotective family, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So they get to the table, and it's time to eat. But before you eat, baby, you got to bless the food. And so the grandmother calls out Nisha and tells Nisha to bless the food, which a lot of people felt that was wrong. But I don't think the grandmother meant it out of, Alexa, turn off the alarm. I don't think the grandmother meant it to be wrong or harm to Nisha, because she said this to Nisha. She said, I understand, like she understood where Nisha was coming from with the cold. But she said, you're angry with the church, not God. So just close your eyes and talk to God. So the grandmother was really like helping Nisha and wanted to really, you know, just kind of teaching her some things. So Nisha went ahead and closed the eyes, said a quick, thank you for the food, amen. And that was it. Nisha was like, baby, if I could have read up out of there, I would have read. So I forgot who this is, this woman. I believe she's the auntie Baby, Nisha already got her plate. And this woman, this beautiful woman is like making Jazz plates. Okay, and she pounding the food. Pow, pow, pow. By the way, that potato salad and that fish look good. But she's like pounding the food. And so she gives Jasmine her food. And so the grandmother is kind of looking at Jazz like, and the mom too. And so Jazz like, I got something to tell y'all. I've been on my weight loss journey. I'm taking the shots. And the grandmother like, you taking them shots. That's why you not eating. And she's like, well, I got something else to tell y'all. I'm going to have the weight loss surgery. Baby, it was like the house almost broke loose. They were like, oh, to the now. To the now. Okay? And Nisha was like, it's going to be okay. My mom had the surgery. And so Jazz's mom was like, I don't care who had the surgery. I know people that have heard the surgery. But we are talking about my daughter having the surgery. And the mom and the grandmother was both like, if anything happened to Jazz, that's it. Their world is going to be shattered. Going to be completely shattered. So that's where we ended off, y'all. That's where we ended off. I can't wait. Well, I'm looking forward to next Tuesday to see what else is going to happen, to see if Jazz is going to continue to move forward, because she did say that whatever grandmother say goes. So we will see. We will see. With that being said, love, grease, and hair. Love, peace, and hair grease. Remember to treat people with kindness, because you never know what they are going through. Bye.